Snap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
Let's get things rolling right here on a Saturday afternoon. This is the Jake Asman Show. Number to call to get involved, 800-224-2004. That's 800-224-2004. I'm on Twitter at Jake Asman, JakeAsman is where you can find me there. Follow me on Twitter and interact with us throughout our show. We start this afternoon off by talking about the top of the NFL draft. Trevor Lawrence is going 1, right? I mean, here's how you can make money if you don't think Trevor Lawrence is going 1. Put down a couple bucks, and at minus 20,000 odds, you'll make out like a bandit if it's not Trevor Lawrence going 1. But here's the thing. He is going 1. That's all been decided. That was decided at the end of the 2020 regular season. Then at number 2, there was a lot of debate. Would the Jets pick a quarterback? Would they trade out? Well, we know they're picking a quarterback, and the quarterback's going to be Zach Wilson. I've been told that off the record by people that know, and just connect the dots. It's obvious. It is obvious Wilson's their guy. But here's the question you have for a lot of these teams coming in. Are all these rookies going to play right away? Trevor Lawrence is going to be the week 1 starter for the Jaguars. There's no doubt about it. Then you get to the Jets. Are they playing Zach Wilson right away? I think they will. I'd be shocked if they didn't. What about the Niners at 3? I guess it depends on who they take, but they might be the only team that goes quarterback early that does not play their guy right away because they still have Jimmy Garoppolo. But we shall see. But I think what we've seen now over and over again is that when you draft a quarterback high, specifically when you draft a quarterback in the top 10, and more so in the top 5, that quarterback plays right away. That's just how it goes. Like the days of sitting behind a starter for a year, perhaps 2 years, that's long over. Like Aaron Rodgers will never happen again, where he's behind Favre for multiple years. You know, the outlier is now what happened with Alex Smith starting in front of Patrick Mahomes. That's not the norm. The norm is Kyler Murray taken first overall. He's the guy that plays right away. Joe Burrow gets taken first overall. He plays right away. Both Goff and Wentz taken 1 and 2. They both pretty much played right away. Goff came in about halfway through his rookie year. The time to sit these guys is long over. So any team that's taken a quarterback really high, expect them to play early on, which is why I don't think the Falcons are going quarterback at 4. Because I think they're going to try and maximize what they have left with Matt Ryan. And I think the only team that maybe could be the outlier here would be the Niners at 3. And I'm still not fully convinced that Garoppolo is their guy, that they wouldn't move him. You can see Jimmy G get dealt at the trade deadline, just like he was dealt to the Niners in the first place from the Patriots. So I say all that to play you the audio from Jets head coach Robert Saleh the other day. Because I think the thinking of, oh, you got to sit the quarterback behind the veteran and let him learn, those days are over. This was Robert Saleh when asked if he thinks there's a risk to having to play a rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, right away.
I don't think there's risk. You know, it still comes down to having a good football team and building a good roster around everybody. I mean, there's players here that are talented. There's rookies that are going to be coming in that are talented, and the expectation is that they're 1 of 53 when it's all said and done, and they've all got to perform their best to create a great football team. There's always pressure. There's always pressure to put together the best football team we possibly can, regardless of who's playing. So, very comfortable with every decision that's made, and it's our job to get them to put them in the best position to be successful, and that not just the quarterback, but every single player that takes the field.
So Saleh's right. If the Jets take Wilson, he's playing week 1. That's just how it goes. Now, as someone who follows the Jets closely, they do need to add a veteran quarterback. I think that could be helpful for Zach Wilson. But Sam Darnold played right away, and he played well at the end of his rookie year. So I think the idea of like, oh, well, you know, there's a right and wrong way to do it. You don't always want your quarterback to play right away. If a guy's good, he's good. If a guy's ready, he's ready. As long as Zach Wilson knows the offense and can get the guys, you know, in and out of the huddle, he's playing right away week 1 for the Jets. And that's how it should be. You know, same thing with Trevor Lawrence. You think he's going to sit behind Gardner Minshew? No chance. And the reason why these guys play right away now more than ever is because they play so much more football going into college, and then in college, they get so many more reps than ever before. I mean, how often are we watching guys as true freshmen play? You know, in the era we live in of 7-on-7s and all this extra practicing. It's just a way that the NFL has now adapted the college style of offense, these, college offenses where they spread the field, the Shanahan system, so to speak, the Jets will be running. These guys play right away. So I know it caused maybe some controversy, if you even want to call it that. Like, oh, wow, the Jets sound pretty convinced they're going to be playing their guy right away. Yeah, that's how this goes. Now, to those that say you can't play Wilson right away because the team's not ready, well, tough. Any player that gets taken high goes to a bad team. It's on the Jets to use the coaching they do have to put Wilson in the best possible success or possible position for success, meaning easy throws, protecting him with play action, having more production from your running game. Like by accident, the Jets offense will be better because it's coached by a LaFleur instead of being coached by Adam Gase. By accident. So I don't need Zach Wilson to come in and have a Justin Herbert like rookie year, but he's going to come in and play right away. Even Daniel Jones came in for Eli Manning 2 games in to his rookie year. The days of quarterbacks sitting is over. The only outlier this year could potentially be what the Niners do at 3 because they have Garoppolo. But I'm telling you, the second Jimmy Garoppolo starts to have a couple bad games, you're going to hear the rumblings of whoever the rookie they take to come in and play. That's just how it goes. So Robert Saleh is saying there's no risk in playing a rookie right away. He's right. You want these guys to play right away. The most valuable thing they could do is get experience in year 1. 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks last year were ready to go right away, and then Tua ended up coming in. In fact, they benched Tua when the Dolphins had a winning record, or they benched Fitz when the Dolphins had a winning record to play Tua. It's all about playing right away now. This is the new norm. So don't be surprised if we end up seeing Justin Fields get in this year. We end up seeing Trey Lance get in this year. I don't buy the old, it's a project and they sit. Because history shows the quarterbacks that go early play right away. And I could see a scenario in this draft where 9 picks in, all 5 quarterbacks are gone. I keep painting the different scenarios in my head, how that could happen. I think there's just going to be a run on quarterbacks. It's just how it goes. There's just too many teams that are in the mix to try and find their franchise guy that I can't see any of these guys lasting really outside the top 11 maybe. Because I think even Dave Gettleman might finally trade down if there's a team that wants to come up for the last quarterback at 11. Like, I think all 5 are gone by pick 11. That's my prediction for this draft 5 days from now. By pick 11, all 5 of these quarterbacks, Lawrence, Wilson, Jones, Fields, and Lance, are all gone. Now, I mentioned the Jets. Let's stick with them for a moment here. The Jets have made the decision to go with a quarterback second overall. They traded away Sam Darnold. This is now Joe Douglas's team. If he had stuck with Darnold, even though he didn't draft him, that would have been Joe Douglas's quarterback. He's not getting the chance to pick another one. So Douglas made the decision to move on from Sam, and now he gets to pick his guy. Douglas made the decision to hire Robert Saleh after they fired Adam Gase. He now has his coach. You look at this upcoming draft, there might not be a GM that has more pressure to get it right than Jets GM Joe Douglas. Because he could have took the easy way out and traded out of number 2, got a boatload of picks, and would have been commended for it. But instead, he chose to trade Sam Darnold, and now he's going to have to be the guy that takes his quarterback here. He's going to be, banking his NFL livelihood on a quarterback at a BYU that most people didn't really see play all that much. He's banking his reputation on Wilson being the guy. And I think if you're a Jet fan, you like Joe Douglas. I think if you're a Jet fan, you have some confidence in Joe Douglas, but you just don't know. What I do know is that this draft will define his tenure as the Jets GM, despite the fact they have 21 picks over the next 2 drafts. If they miss on Wilson and he's a bust, where are you as a football team if he's not good? Where are you going to be if Zach Wilson doesn't end up being a big-time player? You're back to square one, which is why there might be more pressure on Joe Douglas and the Jets than any team in this draft, if you really think about it. Because not only do you have to take a quarterback, you also have a pick at 23. The Jamal Adams trade was a fleecing, but you got to hit on the picks. That's the key. Nice to get 2 first-round picks for a box safety. Now you got to hit on the picks. It's Joe Douglas's team, and now he gets to put his stamp on his team going forward. This was Douglas on the need to surround their new franchise quarterback with some talent.
There is a balance you're trying to strike. You're trying to build the best team that you can possibly build. There also is an importance to really doing everything we can to provide what we can to make a young quarterback successful. So there is some balance that goes into that.
A lot of people want to talk about Lawrence going 1, the Niners and whatnot, but the Jaguar decision is easy. You're taking Trevor Lawrence. There's no debate there. Take Trevor Lawrence. The Niners moving up, they have some built-in cliche because of Kyle Shanahan. You look at the top of this draft, the most amount of pressure is on Jets GM Joe Douglas. He's the one that stripped this team down, has all these picks. Now he's got to hit on them. And that will define his tenure as the GM of the Jets. That pick on Thursday night, that's the indication that it's now Joe Douglas's team. And we will find out what Zach Wilson is. I'm good with whatever he did. If he wanted to go Justin Fields, I'm fine with that. He's going Zach Wilson. I'm all in on a kid that had one magical season at BYU and now has skyrocketed up the ranks. It's happened before, but now time will tell if that is the right pick over Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. And remember, whoever the Jets pick, Wilson, will be compared to whatever Sam Darnold ends up doing with the Carolina Panthers. 800-224.
Sorry, I just have to interject here. While you mentioned it, you posted that sad picture of all the Jets jerseys a few weeks ago.
Yes, I did.
Where are you at in terms of Zach Wilson jersey? You need it or keep it?
Well, I probably will buy one, but through my means of getting jerseys, I will not be paying a premium to get it.
I see.
Let's just say my good friends overseas know how to help me out. I'll leave it there. 800-224-2004 is the number if you want to get it, Bob. So we opened talking about the top of the draft. How do you see it going? I have Lawrence going 1, Wilson going 2. I'm leaning Fields 3, but man, it's tough. I could see it go anyway. Your calls on the draft coming up next. Plus, Tom Brady's all bent out of shape about the NFL's New Jersey rule. Really, Tom? We'll get into that next. Stay tuned. Jake Asman with you here on a Saturday. This is the Jake Asman Show on Sports Map Radio.
Football might be